Assalamualaikum, how are you?
Walaikum salam, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. Can you just give us a brief introduction about yourself?
Okay, I'm Arooj. Currently, I'm teaching at University of Central Punjab as a lecturer, and I'm a clinical psychologist by degree. And secondly, I'm doing PhD in clinical psychology from Government College, University Lahore.
Perfect. So, to start with, what do you know about academic pressure and what are your views on it?
Okay, academic pressure basically it's something that overwhelms a person, basically students who are studying, and they are overwhelmed by the stress that they are having and the more amount of stress in a way stress that students experience in their academic life, and that they think that they are not able to cope up with academic expectations that they are having from parents and from teachers and from peers as well. So this is something that students all over the world face this problem, and it's more common in all those individuals whose parents are very much expecting of them that they do excellent job at their academic levels because they want to beat other students as well to get better jobs in the job market and admissions in better universities as well. So there's pressure involved in it, and then students they start comparing themselves with other students, and there are social comparisons among the grades that students are getting. So that kind of pressure that students face when they are in schools and in colleges usually.
So, basically, in your experience, are there any specific age groups or academic levels that you think are more vulnerable to academic pressure?
Definitely, individuals who are studying in universities or in schools, specifically in the classes of 7th, 8th, 9th, and more specifically who are in O level or A level because they have to get admission in better universities or have to choose a career path. For that, it's very difficult for them to manage both the extracurricular activities, their social life, and beat that comparison as well. And due to social pressure, due to parental pressure, due to the peer pressure as well, because they are facing that somebody else is getting better grades and you're not getting those grades because every student is different, and the acceptance of having a different student with different abilities is not accepted and not promoted as well by teachers and parents as well in our society. So I would say those students who are currently in their O levels or A levels when they're choosing their majors and they're choosing their universities where they're going to go, so that is the most critical time, because I remember when I was in O level and A level, I had the toughest years of my life because I was forced to study biology while I wanted to study business. So these are the things that matter a lot for
So it's
students.
basically that the culture, Pakistani culture also plays a big role in our
Exactly.
academic pressure.
Yes.
So what do you know about, or how does it differ between high achieving students and those who are struggling academically?
Okay, so high achieving students they want to be perfect. So there is anxiety related to it that and stress as well that they want to be perfect and they cannot accept a single mistake. So they keep on reviewing their work and they keep on having their time utilized in correcting those mistakes, and because of that their sleep cycle is disturbed and they're always anxious about it that they have to make everything perfect, and it's the type of personality sometimes and they start adapting to it. So it becomes very stressful for them throughout life. They cannot live like that because everything cannot be perfect, everything in life cannot be that perfect. So these exams and this lifestyle, or you can say this mindset, actually disturbs overall as a person. And secondly, for low achievers, because they are comparing themselves with high achievers, or you can say more students who are scoring mediocre marks. So when they are under pressure, when they are compared, so they feel inferiority when they are compared with other people. So inferiority complex, having low self-esteem when they keep on questioning why I'm not smart enough or how much effort do I have to put in that subject, because every student is different and every individual is different. So once they are different, they can choose and they should be choosing different paths because everybody is not a clone of each other. So I think at parents and at teachers and at schools and as well, because schools need to offer more variety of subjects that students can opt for, and they should be encouraged more in project-based learning rather than rote learning, so that all those students who think that they are low achievers, because there are certain criteria by which they are evaluated. So all the certain criteria that specific student can fulfill, but not the others. So I think there needs to be a flexibility in that.
Do you think there's a difference between the parental pressure they receive?
Of course, there is a parental pressure, and it's a major one. Many times, what parents have been doing, that they are trying to make their dreams fulfilled by making them fulfilled by their children, that they want that their children would achieve everything that they could not achieve, or they would provide everything what they could not have. But they do not understand that times have changed and your children are for different times and they want different things in life. So yes, the mindset of the parents needs to be changed. I think most of the schools, not most, but few of the schools, they are training the parents as well. They are in contact with the parents through emails or through visits as well. So that could be reduced. But overall, generally around the world, this time is very much you can say stressful. So parental stress is definitely a very integral part in student academic pressure. So there are certain cases as well when parents are not stressing, or they are saying that it's your choice, take it easy. But students, they still feel they perceive it as a pressure as well, that they want to be the light one, or they want to be somebody as a role model for other people.
Taking what you just said in view, is there enough awareness about academic pressure in Pakistan among students, teachers, even parents?
I would say that people know about it. There is academic pressure that everybody who is like 7th, 8th class, or who are in O level or A level, or either in intermediate as well, they are all going through a lot of tough times, because after intermediate or A level, if somebody is opting for MCAT or ECAT for medical or for engineering or for other subject, for other universities, SAT, so their scores matter a lot, because on the basis of those scores, they are going to get admission at different universities. So I think that people know about it, that there is academic pressure, but knowing is not just solving the problem. So people need to understand that how to solve or resolve the problems of the students, how to reduce the pressure. So I would say that many workshops can be conducted with the teachers and with the students as well as with the parents, mostly, so that how can they make their academic goals achieved with step-by-step approach, not by doing everything under pressure, and having a mindset that it's not the end of the life, and you do not have just academics in your life. You have your social life, you have your friends, you have family, you have your hobbies, you have your talents and skills. You need you can say a relationship with your parents and siblings, with which provides warmth as well. So there are many things which are very much important for anyone to have in life. So academics is not something that defines you or acts a core in your life.
So do you think that academic pressure also affects students' personal life and their personal relations?
Of course, they affect personal life as well and their relationships. When students who are suffering with academic pressure, when they are seeing that their friend is getting better at maths, for example, and they are not scoring better, so they would not like to meet that friend. They would like to stay at home, maybe do not like to go on the group studies as well. So they would avoid those you can say friends, and because of that they might have friendship discord. They might not stay friends. They might be bullied because they're scoring low. They might be shamed upon. That's what society is sometimes doing, or that student population is doing to other student as well. Even if they're not doing, but the student sometimes they feel themselves that other people might be thinking about it, even though they might not be. So they might have disturbed sleep to some extreme. Sometimes they go to sometimes they try different drugs to just escape that pain. Sometimes they self-harm. So there are chances, if somebody is going through academic pressure, they are going to harm themselves or have anger outbursts as well, or emotional breakdowns as well. And there have been researches in Pakistan and abroad as well. Those students who have been in medical, they have committed suicide because the pressure had been so much.
Yes, of course. So these were the basically effects of academic pressure. What are some common signs that a teacher or student should look out for, including parents, that they should look out for that their children or students are facing academic pressure?
So the common signs for any student who is facing these situations, so anyone, parents, teacher, or friends even, they can understand if a student is not performing well, their grades are dropping and they are not able to talk properly, they are always anxious, they are not participating in social activities, they are running away from studies, and they are more indulged in activities which are solitary, and not coming out of their room, their sleep patterns are disturbed, they might have dark circles under their eyes, they might be more lost in their mobile phones, so they might be distracting themselves and not focusing on the study. So the thing is that you cannot tell them to study and study and study. You just have to take the right approach, how to solve their, you can say, a mental mystery to so that they are able to beat that academic pressure.
So basically what I take out from your conversation right now, that you said that more academic pressure means to more failure. Is that true?
Not necessarily, it's so, but we say there is a concept of eustress. Eustress means that every student needs to have a little stress so that they are going to be functioning optimally. So eustress is important. Little stress and little anxiety is for so मैं बहुत बोलती हूँ.
It's fine, it's perfect for me.
Okay. अच्छा. So little stress is very much important because you have to be best friends with stress. So academic pressure, there is stress. So eustress is something that you need to know that little stress or little anxiety is going to help you to get up from your bed, go to school and do your work. And if there is no stress, then you are not going to do that. And if there is too much stress and too much academic pressure, you're not going to function. So little pressure and anxiety and little motivation is very much important because that is going to motivate you to work for your studies.
So basically, as a professional, do you think it's worth it to put our academic mental health, our mental health, sorry. As a professional, do you think it's worth it to put our mental health on the stake of our academics?
I think academics is important, yes, but your mental health is very much important because if you're not in a right state of mind, you cannot give your best in your studies. Sorry, I'm burping.
Do you have water?
I have water, but I'm drinking tea. Yeah, सवाल दोबारा पूछिएगा. Important है mental health.
As a professional, do you think it's worth it to put our mental health? Sorry. Start करते शुरू से. As a professional, do you think it's worth it to put our mental health at the stake of our academics?
As a professional, I would say that mental health is, yes, very much important. However, academic achievements are very much important as well, but not the pressure. So as a professional, I would say that if you're not in a right state of mind, if you're not following life patterns, which would include having emotional regulation, having optimum level of stress or anxiety, not too high or too low, having proper sleep cycles, then this is a part of having a good mental health. So mental health, if it's going to be there in your life, then only then you can able to combat anything in your life. So mental health is more prior as compared to the academics. So if you're not well, you cannot do anything. So first thing is the mental health.
Okay. To end with, can you provide some solutions that students can? Can you provide some solutions that a student can opt to cope with their mental health and academic pressure?
Okay, so yes, there are many solutions. There are some general solutions that I'm going to give. For example, there are students who worry a lot, so they can decide in 24 hours what time they're going to give. In like probably 1 hour 30 minutes, they can assign to that 1 hour that they would call as worry time, so that they can worry, or they can actually worry about anything in their life, right? So when you force them to worry about their worries in that worry time, they actually do not worry at that time. So generally that eradicates. Second thing is they have to make their goals, and goals which are very realistic, and they have small steps. Small steps with very realistic goals, you can say smart goals they can make, which are more achievable and more time bound, and which are not too long, and then have very realistic expectations. Secondly, moreover, they can have very sound social group with which they have group studies, and those people who are resilient in their life, those people who would support them no matter what they are going through, have many activities in their life in which they would feel that it's not just academics in their life. They can have bowling activities, or they can have um, movie time or sleepovers or anything such that actually reduces the stress. They can have fun at home with their friends or with their parents or cousins, and have small trips as well. At the same time, they can make have those motivational quotations around them, so that they can help, and even alarms as well, so that they assign appropriate time to every chapter or every task that they are doing, because sometimes they procrastinate as well. So they put extra time to one task, and then they waste a lot of time which they have to. So then another thing very much important, because most of the students later on, what they do is that they think that in last 2-3 months we are going to study all that we have to study in 2 years. So that is very not feasible for every student. For some students it's feasible, because they have, maybe can say, a little higher IQ, maybe they are more trained in that way of doing things, but not every student, it suits with every student. So they have to plan accordingly. Every year they have to make their steps into smaller, and they can have tuitions as well, they can have external help, so that, and moreover these days they can use AI as well, and some apps, so that they can get help to make their stress reduced.